I'm gonna show you how to fix a ground on one of these Chevy trucks. Let's take a look under the hood and get these grounds cleaned up.
Cat Eye Chevrolet today. All right, let's take a look at this ground up here. Let's get this one cleaned up. All right, so all we gotta do is take the nut off and then just pull the ground strap off. That's what the wire's called. These wires that are exposed like this. So we'll get this nut off of here. Pull the strap off, and this one isn't very bad. You know, sometimes they're really corroded, but this one's pretty clean. So we'll get in here with the wire brush and get it all cleaned up. You want to get the flat part clean the most. So wire brush, you don't want to scrape up the paint, and get it all cleaned up. So we get both sides of the wire cleaned up so it's nice and shiny. You know, get any corrosion off of there, any rust, anything. Just get it removed, dirt, grit, grime, grease. Get it off of there. Put some dielectric grease on both sides of the connector. Put the ring terminal back on there. Bolt it back down. Tighten it back down. And now this ground is fixed. We don't have to worry about it. It's nice and clean. We know this is not the problem.
These are my favorite to clean up because they're easy. You can reach them, no problem.
It's time to go on the driver's side, look at the frame grounds. And we're gonna go right under here. So you can see under there, it's got a bunch of paint and stuff on there. We gotta get that cleaned up. See that? We gotta get it cleaned up and get all that stuff off of there. This one's not too bad. You got a Northern truck. That thing can be all rusted, but this one's not that bad. There we go. We got a little bit of dielectric grease on there, nice and clean. Frame's nice and clean. Got a little bit of grease on there. Bolt it back up. Get it tightened back down just like that. There we go. That ground's not going to cause us any problems. We're going to do that to all of the rest of them that we think are a problem. All right, so here is the big old engine block ground, and you can see that's what we're trying to avoid. That is not going to make good contact. That is not a good ground. It's not really corroded, but it is dirty, so we need to get this one cleaned up. And then there's the back of it right there. Not going to make good contact. If you see it like that, that can cause you sensor problems. You know, it's really not letting the electricity flow well. So big old wires like this one are difficult to replace because these are odd shaped, and it's that big old gauge, thick gauge wire. So, you know, you got to cut them off, crimp you a new one on there, and it's got that little prong on there to stop you from over tightening it. So these can be very difficult to find locally. You really don't want to have to replace them. That's the whole point. We're doing this, get them cleaned up so we don't ever have to replace them or worry about them. This ground right here is in really good shape. If we take a look at it, this is one that goes to the top back of the engine block. So you can see this one doesn't have any corrosion. Sometimes if they get too corroded down in there where they crimp on, you got to cut them off and replace them anyways. You know, no amount of cleaning the connector is going to fix a bunch of corroded copper, but either way, if you can save it, you should, because these are very difficult to find with that super large hole in there on this style ring terminal. You got to cut them off and replace them sometimes. Not fun to find a new one. Luckily, this one's in good shape.
So that's how you fix the grounds. Take them off, clean them up, grease them up. You'll be good to go. Later.